Hi guys, and welcome back to another Let's Build episode. So last time we built up the Great Dwarf Forge of Smithshaven, and in this episode guys, we're going to be starting to kind of build around it. Now that we've got this big building done, we can actually start to do the land around it, and we're going to be completing it bit by bit. But anyway guys, if you're new to the channel at all, we are here to help you build bigger and better. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And also guys, if this is your first time watching one of these videos, then I'll leave a link in the card above as well as in the description to a full playlist that you guys can go and check out after watching this one. Anyway, so this episode we're going to be building on the part of land that we can just see between the river and the kind of boathouse that we've got. That's what we're going to be building today. So I wanted to do some planning with this. I needed to build up kind of like a raised area as well. So just like we did with the previous parts where we've got the actual bits by the waterside, we're building it up with some stone, but also with this actual river, we're trying to channel the water down here as well. And it's a couple kind of levels, I think it's about 4 in total. So just kind of like mapping that out, putting in some of the roads. I actually wanted the roads to go all the way around these houses and go all the way down to this area here. So that kind of just helps me really like map out that area. We're gonna have the port kind of coming off of that round bit. We're gonna have a bridge down the bottom here. So planning is always quite useful to do. Now one of the things I wanted to do with this bit is rather than having lots of stone like we did in the older part of the city of East Point, I actually want to have kind of like Smithshaven's got a little bit more wood in there, so it's a little bit more, I don't know, tagged together, so it's not as established. So that's why I want to put some wood on here, and like this bridge for example, we've got some wood on there as well, and I think it really offsets the stone brick. And like I said, I wanted to make something a little bit different for this kind of like section. Now coming on to the actual houses that we've got here, a lot of these houses are going to be kind of inspired from Amsterdam. So shout out to my Dutch subscribers, awesome place, awesome kind of styles that you guys have got in your houses and have been built up, and so much history as well in the city of Amsterdam. But of course this one is not going to be styled from Amsterdam. This is just going to be like quite a basic house, and we're just going to be pulling some water from the aqueduct here, similar to how the other house behind it on the other side of the river actually works. It's actually pulling it down from the side of that one there. And this time I wanted to go with some browns. We haven't actually really got any brown houses, and I was like, let's do it, let's go for it. But just slotting in a nice water wheel there. I ended up using some barrier blocks in order to actually stop the water from overflowing on sides and made it look a lot cleaner. We've got a wheel there that will then turn, and then that will end up going into the house for some more industry right there. Now getting onto these houses, these are going to be my Amsterdam style houses, so they're quite thin and they're going to be quite tall as well. And I wanted to come up with, you know, lots of different colours in these ones, so different styles, different colours. So in this case, having like really kind of white lower level, then having the actual brickwork on top, and then using, you know, your deep slate for the roof and sandstone. So kind of, you know, using lots of different colours here, and with shaders on in particular, the kind of sandstone and the quartz look really similar, but it's kind of like almost like a shade instead. But yeah, I quite liked how that ended up looking, and you know, playing around with the actual front part of it, the kind of facade of these houses in particular, which I saw when I was in Amsterdam recently. That's kind of what I ended up seeing. So going with a really bright house this time, so we're going with this really bright blue kind of colour, and then actually having some red as well to kind of set that off, kind of contrast against it. So this is going to be quite a bright house. Also guys, if you've got any ideas for the kind of like shops that we're going to have underneath this, the kind of industries, all that kind of stuff, let me know in the comments section. But there we go, so that was all nicely done. Then coming on to the next one here, I actually went with some clay and also some light grey concrete powder down the bottom to give it like a really light grey kind of look. Lots of brick in there, and then this one actually I really like the look of. I think this is my favourite out of this row, just because it's got that kind of small side kind of part on top, and then a really kind of peaked roof as well. I just like how the kind of brick looks and how the grey kind of works with that, and then using acacia down the bottom there as part of that shop front. And then coming on to the last house that we're going to be building in this entire row, actually having some of the mushroom block, using that as a pillar, which I'm trying to like mess around with different materials for this and these houses, and kind of really variate what I've been doing. And in fact with this one went with some nether brick. So this is really quite a dark house. but I wanted to kind of have different kind of bricks in here, so yeah, I was quite happy with how that all turned out in the end. But here we go, guys. Here is the finished part of this city. So we're going to call this Amsrow, inspired from, of course, Amsterdam and the Amstel River. And I'm sure we're going to have more and more kind of Dutch-inspired parts of our city, as well as other cities as well in the entire city of Lordsport as we build it up. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, comment, like, subscribe. If you guys really want to support me, then please do check out my Patreon. Without you guys supporting me on Patreon, I wouldn't be making these videos. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.